Hi, this is Kim Agee, and this is my Module 5 SLP assignment for ITM 501 with Dr. Barak Bara. The SLP assignment was to figure out a problem, an IT type related problem that we're having, and to go for help and find resources to help with our problem, and then kind of to discover how to get the problem fixed and how it worked out for us. One of the issues I decided to explore was something work related, and we have a system of schedules that I have to maintain, and we also have a SharePoint site where we can upload things to the site. However, sometimes the site has some technical issues, and I'm not really familiar with the site. So that's my problem. Because if I could upload those schedules to the SharePoint site, which is kind of like a network among just our company, then it would be easier to share the information with like my bosses and other coworkers who need to see the information. So what I decided to do was to first I contacted the system administrator of the site as a resource. However, my company is so large that it was taking a while to get an answer. And so I decided to go a different route. And I actually ended up discussing with a coworker who was very familiar with the SharePoint site and was able to upload the site, and he's actually able to like open sites and make sites, different SharePoint sites. So I reached out to a coworker, and I actually sat for a tutorial on how to use the SharePoint site and how I could use it to upload my files and my schedules, and how to make changes to the schedules monthly instead of overloading files onto the SharePoint site and bogging it down, which would have the other users would have a hard time finding the information they needed. My bosses would have a harder time finding the information they needed. I sat for the tutorial with him and was able to figure out how best to use it in order to accomplish my job, but accomplish it more efficiently, and as well as provide efficiencies for my coworkers and my bosses. I found it very useful because each of these sites runs differently, and there's so many different components and tabs on the sites that it's hard to use the site. I wasn't able to access the internet to look up the site because it's a government site, and there's really not a lot of information on how best to use the site if you're having a problem with the government. I mean, they do have tips pages within our government portal, but sometimes those are kind of confusing, and I don't think they're very user-friendly. So I think the coworker thing worked out the best for me, and I would actually recommend, if people are having a problem with an IT system, to actually reach out to somebody who they feel like knows the system well, because the IT people a lot of times get overwhelmed and they have a lot of requests, and so it's easier to like reach out to a coworker who probably knows a lot, or might know something that you don't, or can refer you to somebody who would know something that could help you to be more efficient and timely. So that was my problem, being able to use the site, uploading my files to the site. I was able to figure out how to do that by having a tutorial with a coworker, and I have been implementing it recently, and I have found it to be very successful, and I think it'll be very beneficial in the future for both myself and my fellow coworkers. Thank you for this quarter, and that is my assessment for SLP 5. Thank you.